we go.
It's live. It says live.
Oh man, been so excited for this for like
Same.
2 weeks now.
Counting the days, Alex.
Exactly.
Counting the days till I get to come to Iskandaria.
Because I'm just that great.
Yeah, dude. No doubt. No doubt. We could talk about so many things. Robin Hobb, how much we love Robin Hobb.
Oh man. I've been trying not to watch your weekly readers. That's why I haven't been on them or like on your comments, like
But, you're forgiven.
creating my giant paragraphs because I wanted to.
I know you do. Well, you're way ahead of me though, right? Like you're much further.
I have
You just finished.
2 books left.
Yeah, I know you're close to the end.
Oh, I'm not sure if I'm happy about it or if I'm just so sad.
You know what? I'm just at the beginning to where I feel like, oh, I want all this. Like I can't wait to get through all of this, right? And then I know the closer I get to the end, I'm gonna start counting books like, oh, there's only 5 left. There's only 4 left. There's it's that kind of thing. So I totally
That's exactly what's happening.
yeah.
In fact, look at my shirt. I actually just got a Robin Hobb t-shirt.
Dude, there's Robin Hobb merch.
She didn't make it. This is fan made.
Okay. She doesn't strike me as a merch maven,
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
It's sad. I wish she had merch. If she did, I would have bought it instantly.
We'll see, man. We'll see. I think she's supposed to be a Dragonsteel, so whatever it takes. I'm gonna stand in line or whatever it takes to meet her. So we'll see if she has merch there.
I am so jealous. Hello, Christina. Hello, Chris Reads Books. Oh. What did you think of the Tingle Lord thing?
Oh, I love all that stuff. I think it's hilarious.
All right. I kind of just thought, ooh, number one, I actually wanted to make some sort of thing where, hey, Samoki dude.
Yeah.
I wanted to make something that was kind of that I could give people titles.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's from Zelda. Like, Zelda's some of the first games Jacob and I played together. So, and
Zelda.
still, to this day, his favorite games are Zelda games.
I cannot blame anybody for ever saying that because the Zelda games are amazing.
Oh, there's nothing like them, man. The architecture, the puzzles, they pull all the stops for those.
You're gonna be a Tingle Knight. Oh man. Oh, I could add that to the.
There, you could throw that out there. You have all the power, Alex. You have all the power.
I know, it's crazy. I might go power hungry.
So you've been staying away. I can tell you that Robin Hobb has been my book of the month the past 2 months in a row.
I did see that before.
Yeah.
You just read Royal Assassin, did you?
Yes.
Oh man. How can you stop yourself from jumping straight to Assassin's Quest?
It's so hard. The only way that you can do it is and you'll find this, like, once your channel grows, you just kind of find this. You kind of start to think that, like, people are depending on you. Like, I've got to move on and read these other things because I have buddy reads or I have people that we want to have a discussion, or it was voted on in the Patreon read. You've got things that you feel like, and I don't. Maybe I'm just wired this way. I just think it's like, oh, I've got responsibilities. I've got to read these books. And before I came up here, I was down there looking at the days on the calendar. And it's like, I don't think I'm going to have time this month to fit in book 3. I just don't see. I don't see how it's going to happen. I might can fit it in to the very end of the month, but it might bleed over into November by about 3 days, which might be okay. I'll just count it as a November read.
November's going to be a crazy month for me because I'm reading 3 books that month.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
I
but you
mean,
want to know what those books are?
yeah, man, hit me up because you're a full time student, right? Like that's a lot.
Oh, yeah. hmm I am going to read Rhythm of War, Words of Radiance, and Assassin's Fate.
Those are, I mean, I'm reading Rhythm of War in
It's,
November,
I'm telling you, it's my favorite.
but there's no way I could do two of those in a month. Like no way. I mean, I could, but that would be the whole month.
The thing is, Words of Radiance, I learned very quickly. I can actually do that in a week.
No way.
Mhm.
That's a huge. Yeah, no, I couldn't do that in a week.
That that was because and the reason I was able to do it in a week was because I was on vacation.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't even think then. I don't even think then. I would have to do, especially on vacation. You got to go out, see some sights, do some things. Like you can't just like sit in the hotel room and read from dusk to dawn. I would have
Oh,
to get
you're
out and do some other
absolutely
things.
right. And that's something that I've started to learn more and more. I don't want to just kind of keep myself cooped up.
Yeah, get
I
out.
want to go out. I want to go see these things. I want to drag my friends along and go, hey, come on.
Yeah, yeah. Leave one piece behind. Leave the screen. Get out there. See the world. Very important.
One Piece was a month of my life, and it's gone now.
Dude, so are you caught up? Are you you're
Oh, I'm caught
completely
up.
you're done?
hmm
Oh my!
I,
How many episodes was that?
so okay, that in total, I think I stopped at around episode 1080, 1090 something.
Oh my god!
I skipped a Oh, hey, Jay. Oh
Oh,
God. But we'll watch the replay. Sure. You too, man.
yeah. You can't. You don't interrupt your special date.
Oh, that's what I don't know why. I missed that one important part. Keep your date. Have a great time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, the Discord. I saw that yet last night. I was so happy about that. I've been wanting a Discord.
You got to put it up there, man. You got to click on it. There. Okay.
You can tell I'm very experienced.
Yeah, I'm horrible at this too. You're doing great. Yeah, it went up last night. We're gonna do the big official announcement on Sunday, right? That hey, the Discord is live and everything. So we're like, well, let's just put it up and just just make sure the bugs are out. Just make sure we have it set the way we want it.
Yeah.
And so we had it up, and it was like Jacob and me and Amanda and Amy, and we were just like, oh, we're waving at each other. Everything works fine. Things. It's like, then all of a sudden, it's like we had so many people just like boom, 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 boom coming in. It's like, oh my God, this is out of control. Like I was not expecting that whatsoever. So it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I just saw that last night. I'm like, yeah, my night's been made. Let's go.
Yeah.
And I open up Google and go, okay, let's see if I can actually figure this out.
Dude, I don't know how it works. I have no idea. I mean, Jacob had it all set up for me. I'd be lost without that kid.
I've been using Discord for years, and then I tried to figure it out with the Patreon thing, and I went, okay, you know what?
Go to Google.
I'll figure it out when I have more sleep.
Yeah. So you've been on Discord for years. I didn't even know it existed until, I started BookTube and learned about it.
So the reason I've been on Discord is because some of my best friends use Android phones, and Apple phones interact with Android phones, and I just go, you know what? Discord. Also, because I have a couple friends who now live overseas. One of my best friends, he now lives in Europe. Because of that, it's just more of a hassle to know phone numbers, and we'd have to have switched it up, and it's easier on Discord.
All right. I trust you. I trust you, Alex.
But what have What have you been reading other than Hob? Because I know Hob is just an all-consuming thing. It's the best thing ever.
I mean, it is. It really is. What I'm reading right now is it's spooky season, so I started Doomakey by Stephen King.
Oh, you see, I need to read more Stephen King. I have been I read or I listened to the first 3 Dark Tower books on audiobook.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I have been, is it the first 3? Wastelands is book 3, right?
Yes.
And then book 4, Wizarding Glass, I've been slowly chewing away at it, listening to the audiobook through the Libby app.
Mm-hmm.
But every once in a while, so I'll think, okay, I have the next 2 weeks. But I'm just a physical reader, so I'll grab the audiobook and go, okay. Never pick it up.
Yeah, I cannot do audiobooks, man. I just can't. I wish I could. I just can't do it. I just, for some reason, it's the physical act of holding a book and
I know.
yeah, I can't get away from it. To me, it's just like kind of a special meditative thing. Like it's just time for myself that I don't want to give up. I mean, if I was going on a long drive or something, and it's like I'm stuck in this car anyway, why not? But I miss stuff because I'll start looking around or thinking my thoughts are, and it's like, what the hell is going on? Like I missed most of this chapter. Yeah.
Then when you come back, you go, wait,
where was I? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I've read so much Stephen King over the years. I started reading Stephen King in junior high. So, yeah, it's a long time. So, I mean, for me, it's like starting spooky season with Stephen King, it's like home base, It's like, it's old home week. It's so comfortable. And he just does a story like you just can't stop reading. Like you start, you're like, God, this is so, you really need this many pages, Stephen? Come on. And then by the time, you get into it a little bit and it's just like you cannot stop reading. It's like the best box of chocolate. You just can't stop. You just want to try every piece. I'm just having so much fun. There was a time when I missed a chunk of Stephen King releases, and Doomakey was one of them. And a lot of people told me, "Oh, it's so good. It's a really good one." So it's like, put it on the schedule for spooky season. Go back and catch it. And it's like, I should be done by Sunday. I'm having such a fun time. So much fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I've been in kind of a reading slump, and I don't know why. I've been trying to read Harold right now from God Eater.
Oh, yeah, the chunky one.
Oh,
yeah.
And it's amazing. But as I'm going through it, I love to do a solid 100 pages a day because I got nothing better to do.
Yeah, that's what I shoot for too. I always shoot for 100 a day.
And then recently I've just been realizing, oh no, I don't have that time right now.
Yeah. I mean, that happens. Like something will come up at work or something. It's like, I don't always hit 100 pages a day, but I shoot for it, Dude, I feel you. Did you start with the big one, Harold, or did you start with the other? So you're starting with Harold. See, I did, what was the one I started with?
You've already started.
Yeah, I did Demon.
Oh, which one? Hold on. Is that you're doing chronological?
Yeah, I'm doing chronological. So, and I know Patrick had done all 3. So I asked Patrick.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he is.
So I asked Patrick, it's like, okay, what order should I do these in? And he said, do Demon. He said chronological. Demon, Deathless, and then Harold.
You see, the first thing I did was I asked, through the Kickstarter thing, I asked, hey, Rob J. Hayes, what order should I read them in? And he's like, do reverse chronological. I said, cool. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, you know what? I really dug doing this one first, chronological. I mean, this was a really good start. It's such an amazing, like, heavy metal origin story, like a dark fantasy heavy metal origin story. Like, I just really, it kind of really sucked me in. So, I don't think I'll have any problem continuing. I mean, God, if I don't have time for Hob, I could pick up book 2 actually and squeeze that in. But no, I got to do Hob. I mean, I have to.
You do.
It's so good. She's,
I'm not
I
gonna-
mean, she's special, right? Like the
Oh,
way she. Oh my God, I can't. Don't even get me started. Oh, she's just special. So it'll bleed over into November, but I'm doing it. I'm absolutely gonna do it.
Man, I cannot wait to hear your thoughts on Live Ship Traders.
And that's the next one, right?
Yep.
And then what comes after that?
So it is Farseer, the Farseer trilogy, Live Ship Traders trilogy, Tawny Man trilogy, Rainwald
Rainwild?
Chronicle trilogy.
See, that's the one I hear is people warn me about. Rainwild.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It was so. That's the thing. It's Hob quality. She doesn't lose the quality because you've read her, so
Yeah.
she's really good at creating those thoughts and working you through the gears ticking in the character's head, and she keeps that, but she hones it in on romance.
I mean, I'm okay with that. I'm a romantic guy. Is it like young love, or because even in Farseer trilogy, there's a good chunk of that in book 2.
It's you're right, but it feels more like it's a cog in life.
Mm-hmm.
While in Rainwald Chronicles, it feels like that's the thing we're looking at. That's the focus. We're talking about these teenagers in love.
And to the exclusion of
To the
other
exclusion of
yeah.
what I believe is the core themes of Hobbes' work 90% of the time.
Okay. All right.
And also,
We'll
if
see.
you can help it, try to avoid learning the name of that last trilogy.
The one where isn't that Fits in the Fool?
Ah, crap! You already know it. Okay.
Yeah. No. I mean, I've heard. I've seen it. Yeah.
Well, the only reason I say that is because if you look at the Tawny Man books, do you care if I show you the title?
No, that's okay. I've looked at the big list and everything. Fool's Fate. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. What do you think this is about?
Well, I'm guessing it's back to the fool that he meets in Farseer.
Problem is, we know the name of the last trilogy.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to spoil anything for you, so I'm not going to say much more.
I mean, yeah, don't spoil anything, but it's like I don't mind knowing titles and stuff. I'm not that much of a spoiler,
I typically don't, but I wasn't happy that I knew.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me, she's good enough to, even if I can kind of see the titles and I looked at like the whole list and the order and everything, I know she's got so many surprises for me that it's like I don't, it didn't keep me from looking at the whole list of titles and stuff.
So this is the thing, I'm so upset with myself. I will always, every once in a while, there will be a character who it's maybe that I hate or I'm not understanding a certain thing, so I'll look it up.
Yeah.
And then something gets spoiled. Like, I know the ending. Or I don't think I know the ending, but I know something about the ending. And I'm like, God!
I see, I don't do that. Like, I stay away from, like, I'm really bad, like, doing, like, okay, like, Words of Radiance, Rhythm of War, right? Like, I'm about to do Rhythm of War next month, and it's like, I'll probably be a little shaky on where I left some of these characters off or something like that. And, Brandon Sanderson, there's tons of freaking wikis and web. I mean, they're everywhere, right? So it's like, I won't allow myself to go and check because things have been spoiled. Like, I've done that before, and I go to check something to remind myself where I left off or where I was, and it's like, well, I didn't want to know that. Why would you why would you tell me that? So I've gotten really sketchy about doing that. Like, I just won't allow myself to do that. Kind of like I won't allow myself to watch trailers to movies anymore. People ask me all the time, do you see this trailer or that trailer? It's like, no, because they show you the whole movie.
It's so bad.
They've lost the art of the tease. They've lost the art of the trailer. Before, the trailer would just be just enough to let you know if you want to see it or not. Now they like kind of show you the whole thing, or at least all the good parts. It drives me insane.
Yeah, I don't like it either. Was it? I think it was one of the Dune Part Two trailers. I'm like, what are you doing here? I mean,
Yeah.
I already read the book, so
I mean, that one I know. I watched none of the trailers because I didn't, but I knew what was coming. I mean,
yeah.
I'd read the book several times, but I mean, still, I knew what they were going to do with the trailer. They're going to just show way too much.
hmm
And that's what
And
they always. Yep,
they always,
they always do, man. They always do.
it's it's sad. I don't like
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. It's like it used to be such an art to just show you, tease you just enough, and it's like now uh, they show the whole thing. Drives me insane.
Exactly. It's like a book. It's like a good book cover. They'll just go, look, it's cool,
Yeah,
isn't it? It's
yeah.
cool.
You really don't. You have no idea.
So go read it.
Yeah. So how far are you into Harold, the big one? How far did you get in?
I think I'm about halfway. I'm gonna keep reading it until I'm hoping to finish it. I need to finish it, or I don't need to finish it. I don't need to finish things. That's my bad. I'm so bad about that. But I want to finish it. Hopefully by sometime halfway through next week, and then I want to read the second book in the Sundered or the Book of Astea duology by Zamar Asmer. I think that's the
Oh,
right name.
I have heard of that. I have heard of that. Yeah.
Because Chance and I are doing a buddy read of that, and then we're gonna have a discussion. And so I'm gonna read that second book, and I need to read that second book.
Right. So see, you see what I mean? You see
I
what
know
I mean?
exactly.
Yeah. And it's like you may want to pick up that next Hobb book or something, but it's like
Mhm.
chance is relying on you, and I get wrapped up in that. And it's honestly,
Yeah.
um, people might think it's like, oh, you don't get to read what you want. What a bummer. And it's like, I personally, I love it. Like, I really don't experience bad reads anymore because I'm not in charge of my TBR. Like, the Patreons will vote on something. I'll get recommendations, or I've got a buddy read, or I've got a, whatever. And it's like, all of these books usually are pretty amazing. And
Oh, yeah.
when I was picking out stuff is when I was going into, reading slumps and stuff like, well, that's not what I wanted. I mean, I'm kind of bummed out about that. That doesn't happen to me anymore. So in a way, I feel great about relinquishing all responsibility of what I read.
Give it up. You know what? Yeah.
Don't look back. Don't look back. I get to, and don't you find like, I mean, I'm sure you probably feel the same way, Alex. Like, you read a book and you get to talk about it with people. Doesn't it make that enjoyment of the book like just go through the roof, right? Like, it's so much better.
It's so much better.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have no problem putting Robin Hobb on hold to be able to do these other things because I know I'll get to go back to her. I mean, it's gonna be there, and it kind of takes away because if it was just me and I wasn't doing this, I would probably do exactly what you're saying. I would probably just go, oh, I'm gonna mainline this whole series. I'm just gonna go from one to the other, right? And I'd be sad when it was over, and then I'd have a huge
Yeah.
book hangover, and I might not read for 4 to 5 months because the love of my life, the Queen, is out of books for me, and it's like I find this has just been so much more appealing to me now that things are spaced out. I get to talk with people. It's such a better world, so much more enjoyable reading world.
Oh yeah. Being able to talk to people about just I read this book.
Yeah,
Here it is.
yeah.
Rather than chasing people around. I remember you said how you were chasing people around the house. Yeah, that's what I do.
Oh yeah. I mean,
My
Jacob
mom's
and
a
I
big
mean,
one.
but it's weird doing this. They're both reading a lot more now too.
Really?
Oh yeah, because they don't. I'm not going to say Amy reads the same things I do, but she's definitely reading a lot more because, I mean, she sees the fun I'm having and the relationships I'm making and everything, and she's like, oh, that looks great. I want to do some of that. So next thing you know, she's really getting way more into reading than she had been for a good while as well. And Jacob
Awesome.
too. I mean, Brett we're all reading Frankenstein. That's the next book I'm picking up after
Oh,
Stephen King.
I've uh, uh I'm so here's an interesting thing. One of my classes, my teacher had said, "Oh, yeah, Frankenstein's an amazing book. You'd love it," or to me.
Yeah.
And then when I go, then the very next year, I look back at the roster of the books they're going to read,
Mm-hmm.
and then I see Frankenstein,
Mm-hmm.
and I go to her and I say, "Come on, I want to read Frankenstein. You know that. Why'd you do that to me?"
Now you get to read it again.
Exactly.
It's a great book, though. It is one you can definitely read more than once.
Huh. Yeah, I've heard so. I think I'm the only person I know who has not read Frankenstein at this point.
Oh,
other
you
than-
haven't? So you haven't read it,
I haven't read it. No.
dude? I think you're really gonna love it. It's an Alex book.
That's great. I know
Yeah.
it's about a monster.
No, it's not about what you think it's about.
I've been told that so many times.
Yeah, yeah, it's absolutely not what you think. It's the way it's layered and thematically and the level of kind of darkness. I mean, dude, you're gonna absolutely, and you're gonna love it. I'm not even gonna say any more. This is gonna be. I predict you're gonna be super high on this book after you read it.
Okay. It's gonna go on there at some point.
Like when are you? How soon are you reading it?
Oh, no. That's the thing. This month, I always work off. Okay, what do I want to read? Because I will if I try to read something I'm not in the mood for, I'm not going to enjoy it. One of
Oh.
the best examples of this is oh god, I tried. Hold on, what? One of the books up here. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was in my head, but it's gone now. So there was a book that I just knew I'd love,
Yeah,
but I read it at the wrong time,
that's it.
or I started to read it at the wrong. Oh, City of Last Chances.
Oh, I've got the first two of those. Yeah, I'm waiting for
I
book
think
3.
I read that at the wrong time because this is a gorgeous book. The concept seems interesting. I don't remember the concept anymore, and oh my god, what words are supposed to be here, but they're leaving.
Yeah. I read one by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I've read Service Model, and I really
yeah.
loved it. And I want to read a lot more by him. And I have so many more Adrian Tchaikovskys now stacked up from my birthday. People gave me so many of them. But those two I had bought on my own. The first two of the I can't remember the name of the trilogy. Psychotic Dictators or something like that. The Something Tyrants series, I think it is City of Last. Yeah.
Oh my god, it's on the tip of my tongue.
But anyway, I have the first two. The third one's supposed to be coming out, I think, in March. But I definitely want to do those.
Gorgeous.
Oh, they're so pretty, man! Right? The
I know.
covers are beautiful. Christina's saying it wasn't she 18 when she wrote that? Yeah.
Yes, she was.
Mary Shelley was 18 when she wrote that. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I want to go back. Somebody said Janny Works. That's Magic Name.
Yep.
Oh, you read Janny Works. That is her
Yeah,
work.
she's gonna jump on the January. She's gonna maybe read Wars of Light and Shadow with us starting in January.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wars of Light and Shadow is so. As I've read the first book.
So you read the
right
first
back
one.
in May, and it was so good.
Yeah.
It's definitely like brain bashing,
Yeah.
but it was so good.
I read this one, To Ride Hell's Chasm.
Any chance? Yep, I just finished that a couple weeks ago. It's actually hidden behind.
What did you
all
think?
over there. It was really good.
Dude, I thought this was so good. The prose is just so special. It just evokes a world and emotions and feelings, and it's so layered. The characters are so amazing. Mikhail is my guy, man. I absolutely love this character, you know. And then at the core of it is like this very fast-paced action, high fantasy story, but it's told in this beautiful way. Like it's such a great juxtaposition of Meeting of Worlds. I just can't wait to start her big. After reading this, I can't wait to start War of Light and Shadows. Can't wait.
Oh yeah. Though I will say that the Wars of Light and Shadow, in terms of prose, is, I'd say, about 10 times more difficult.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, I can't wait.
For example, every page, I swear, she would bring this weird word in there, and it's like, huh, that fits the world. I don't understand what it means.
You got to look it up, man. See, Chris wants to read along. Got to join us, Chris. Go for it. We're only doing like a book every other month, so it's because some people, to get through, like you say, the prose is not easy, right? Here's book 1. So the prose is not easy, right? So it's 2 months. You got 2 months before we do a discussion. It's not like a book every month.
It is, yeah, I feel even, I'm going to be very, very, very impressed with you if you are able to read 100 pages a day and retain all that knowledge.
Yeah, I'll be impressed with that too. I might have to slow my, I'm thinking since we do one every other month, what I might do is figure out how many pages do I have to do to have this read in like a 6-week span. And I'll do that many pages a day of that one, and to make up the 100 pages, I'll be doing a second book over, going through second books so I kind of take a little bit more time with prose that is as rich and textured as Wars of Light and Shadow as I hear it is. So I might have to break up and do more than one book during that stretch.
That's fair. Though I do have to say, one of my favorite things about the book is it has it is my favorite prologue of all time. It's short, It's simple, and I think I read it twice and went, yep, there we go. That's an amazing prologue.
Yeah. All right. I can't wait, man. I'm excited. I'm actually going to do the prequel novella in December to get ready.
Oh, I do actually want to read the prequel novella.
Yeah, so the Gallant, I'm going to do that in December just to kind of kick everything off, and then I'll start in January. Yep. Can't wait. It's gonna be freaking awesome. I can't wait, man. 2025 is going to be an amazing reading year. This year was amazing. Like I was thinking the other day, like, okay, this is the last quarter of the year. We're in October already, right? We got 3 months left. We got a quarter left of this year. I'm going to have to make my best of list for 2024. Like, I don't know how I'm going to do that.
Oh, God.
I have read so many amazing books this year.
I know,
It's going to be hard. It is going to be very, very hard.
Did you get the... I'm curious. Did you get the Broken Binding Sun Eater books?
No. Jacob did.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
That board art, or the... Have you seen the art, the covers?
Oh, yeah. I like the flip cover.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's gorgeous.
That mural. Oh, it's so good.
It's so good, right? It's really good. No, I'm hoping, and I was talking to I'm hoping they do, or they have some copies, or they do a reprint down the road of this Diamond edition that just came out. I'm gonna try and.
Oh, same here.
Yeah, that's the editions I want to get. So I'm kind of holding out, hoping that we might see some more of those surface or something like that.
That's the thing. I'm just gonna go with the Broken Binding editions. I'm gonna enjoy those.
Oh man, you can't go wrong. Like you cannot. Everything I've gotten from Broken Binding, like I just got the midnight editions. The midnight editions of you got them right there.
Yep.
The Kinlu Dandelion Dynasty. Oh my God, they're gorgeous, right? Like everything I've gotten from them, I've just been over the moon happy with. And the shipping is crazy because it's from the UK, but
Yeah.
Honestly,
So,
what they charge for the books, I think, is extremely affordable for what
oh
you
yeah.
get.
But one of the super interesting things to me is, okay, there's a bug hovering over my ear. Uh,
Sure, sure, Alex, sure.
Fine. But I have when I'd been tracking the Dandelion Dynasty box,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you remember this because I commented it in your comment section, but it seriously went on a Lord of the Rings level trek to
Yeah.
get to my house.
You're it's like Puerto Rico, right? Like it went like, yeah.
It came down to my state, to the capital of my state, and then out of nowhere, I'm on the East Coast, it shows up in it's in Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
And then it says, okay, I'm gone. It vanishes for 3-4 days. And I ask all my friends, is this normal? Is this something that I should be worried about?
No, that's not
And
normal.
then the top of the USPS thing says every order may be delayed by a little bit because, there's a giant tropical storm going on everywhere.
That's true. That's true.
And I go, okay, it was before Helen. And I go, okay. And then it finally comes to my state. It goes to my city or my town. And then it goes back to the capital
Again?
state
Oh, of your state. Okay. All right.
of my state. And then it goes back to my town. And then it comes to me. And I could tell it went through hell.
Were the books damaged or no?
Not one bit.
Nice.
And I'm sitting there going, how is this possible? Like
Yeah.
the even the packaging was torn. The packaging for the books
Yeah.
was torn. But the books, impeccable condition.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Yeah. I just got my sub box today. I got the last of the Greenbone saga. So I've got all 3 of those.
I'm so excited for the Tad Williams.
Yes, next month, right?
Oh yeah.
I can't wait to see those. I can't wait to see those. Yeah. Yeah.
And I just became a subscriber a little bit ago, like last
Like
month.
how long were you on the waiting list? Cuz dude, I was on there forever.
Since March.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I hear everybody saying I was on there forever, and I'm sitting here going, I was on there since March. I don't know what you're complaining about.
Oh my, that's amazing. I think I was on there for almost like right around 12 months, maybe a little over a year. Like I was on there for a long time.
I was honestly kind of scared because I was thinking, the Greenbone Saga. I actually have the first book over there in hardcover. I was thinking, I don't care about that series all that much. I haven't tried it, so
Yeah.
maybe I'll love it so much and then want those special editions, but I don't care about them right now. But then I look at those, like the Dragon Bone Chair and all those books, and I think, number one, it's Jeff Brown. He is probably my favorite artist.
They're pretty.
Actually, you know what? That's a tough thing to say because Janny Wirtz is also a really, really, really good artist.
Janny Wirtz is very good too. Yeah.
Anyways, he's one of my favorites just because of his style,
Yeah.
and I can't talk about it too much because I don't know art.
But you know what you like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I thought that it would just look so gorgeous, and I'm sitting there going, okay, 3,200 people were taken off the list last time for the Greenbone Saga.
Really, that many people? That many
Yeah.
people?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, they must have really increased their output. I didn't know it was that many.
I have no idea what their output is. I'd love to know that, though, because I think it'd be very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if they added another 3,200, they must have had to up their production pretty,
Probably.
to include all those people. Yeah, I would guess.
And then I'm in the 3,200s, and I'm going, oh, I really, really, really want that Dragon Bone Chair, all those books, and I'm just kind of sitting there, and then one day I get out of a class. I check my email because that's just something I do typically, and then I go,
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way I felt too. Like when I got that note, because I got the notification for Greenbone Saga, and I haven't read it, and I really wanted to, and it's like, what a perfect time to go in, to get those, because I haven't read them yet, and I really want to. So I was pumped about it. And then I got the first one from Fairy Loot too.
oh, yeah, I remember you did have an unboxing for. Oh, is that that's the lady who made the Shattered Bone trilogy, Shattered Daughter trilogy, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And this is the first of her new one, and dude, it's really
Ooh.
pretty.
I'm gonna be evil here. Pick up one of. If you just were to compare one of the Greenbone books to that, what would you think is better?
I think they're very comparable. I mean, the sprayed edges are a little bit more intricate and nicer on the Greenbone, I'm not gonna lie. The Dust Jacket has a reversible, so if you don't want the Dust Jacket everybody else has, you can do
Oh,
reversible Dust Jacket.
that looks really nice.
It's a really nice naked hardcover. It's got a lot of flair on the hardcover, right?
Oh man, that actually looks really nice.
I mean, I was kind of really, like, honestly, I had signed up for Fairy Loot, and it's like, oh, cool, I'll do this too, because I wouldn't mind having 2 boxes a month. That's cool. Mm-hmm. And right after I signed up for this, I got the word that's like, okay, you've been accepted to Broken Binding Sci-Fi. And I was like, oh man, I can't do all those, right? So I actually canceled this box, and I thought, I'll just get this first book, and I'll cancel this box, and I'll go with Broken Binding. And then when I got this in, I said, you know what? I re-upped it and restarted it again, because this was nice enough for me to go, you know what? I want to keep going with this. I'm gonna do 3, because then I saw the sci-fi from Broken Binding is like every other month. It's only 6 times a year.
Oh, it is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought that. Okay, sorry, it's dead now.
Did you get it?
Yep, I got it.
So it was nice enough for me. It was nice enough for me to keep paying Fairy Loot, Alex. That's the answer to your question.
Awesome. But what is your most anticipated book right now, like release?
I mean, it's got to be Wind and Truth, right? I mean, I've been reading.
I just wanted to hear the answer.
I mean, I've been reading one Cosmere book a month for over a year, so I would be ready. Like that's got to be the most. It's all been leading up to this. So, I mean, it's going to be one of the most amazing father-son trips that I've taken with my kid. We're going to Dragonsteel together to pick it up. I've been reading a Cosmere book a month for over a year. So it's got to be Wind and Truth. But, I mean, a close second would probably be The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. I'm really excited for that. Oh. Or, I'll take that back. That's probably third. A very, very close second, maybe even tied for number 1, along with Wind and Truth, for me, is Leviathan by Robert McCammon. It's the 10th book in the Matthew Corbett series. So the Matthew Corbett series is ending. It'll be out December, same month as Wind and Truth. So that's probably like almost a tie for my number 1 most anticipated would be Robert McCammon's Leviathan.
Okay. You're going to have a great December, huh?
I probably can't fit them both in. I bet I can't fit them both in. But Leviathan will definitely be in January.
Awesome, though.
But I've been reading that one for, oh my God. Robert McCammon's one of my favorite authors of all time, so.
Robert McCammon wrote Swan Song, right?
Swan Song, Boy's Life,
okay.
Mine, the Matthew Corbett series.
I've been wanting to read Swan Song for about a year because I love post-apocalypses. I don't know why I don't read enough of them. I just love them.
Dude, if you like post-apocalyptic stuff, then you're going to love Swan Song. It's probably one of my favorite books of all time. Like I love Robert McCammon. Gone South is another great one. Blue World is a collection of short stories that is fabulous. Like this guy, and then the Matthew Corbett series. Like this guy can do magical realism, horror, it's like horrific sci-fi with a book like Stinger, just straight up action thriller with a book like mine, and then he'll do like this historical fiction where he basically just channels the language of Charles Dickens and just knock it out of the park for 10 books with the Matthew Corbett series. I mean, he's such a chameleon. He can do so many things so unbelievably well. It's phenomenal. I can't wait for you to read Swan Song, dude. You're going to love Swan Song.
That is, I'm so excited. You made me more excited, and that's the problem. We have this infinite TBR, and it's going to keep growing forever and
oh
ever
my
and ever.
gosh. Oh my gosh, yeah. We'll never finish it. It'll never be
Oh,
finished. But that's the good part.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, imagine if you just had, I kind of have 3 books I'm excited about. Once I
Oh,
finish
God,
those,
no.
I got nothing. You know, like, that would be horrible. That would be horrible.
Actually, well, no. I used to be that way. I had that series up there. I don't know if Wings of Fire. That's the series that got me into reading.
Dude, I don't know
And
that
so-
series.
Started in 2010, 2012, something like that. And I remember reading it and going, ooh, this is so interesting. I don't know why they say it's for kids. It's
Yeah.
probably the bloodiest kids book I've ever read, but
Oh, that's
you know what?
awesome.
Exactly, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I remember reading through it and going, oh, this is so good. And then I caught up to it. And I go, okay, time to reread everything.
Oh, no, you didn't branch out?
No. No.
Alex.
I have kind of an interesting story about this. And then a cousin of mine helped me to read this series called Mortal Instruments. It's this super YA series, and I
I've
read
heard
it,
of this.
and for like a 10-year-old should not read this, by the way. But, I mean, read whatever you want.
It didn't hurt you.
Exactly.
There you go.
But I read it and went, all right, that's cool too. So I'm just going to reread both these series.
Oh, my gosh. Alex, no.
And then back in 2020, probably my best friend, he sits down and says, okay, you're going to watch anime with me.
Oh,
He's
that
been
was
trying to
it.
get-
That was it. Yeah.
It's going to get there. Hold on. So he tells me, you got to watch anime. You're being so... Two books of Mortal Instruments. Huh. What'd you think of that? But I watched it was like Full Metal Alchemist with him.
Okay.
And then I became obsessed with it. And then I kept watching and watching and watching. And then once I finished that, I went, hey man, give me more recommendations. I want to watch more stuff. And so I started branching out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it was The Promised Neverland is a series
Don't
that
know that one.
it's so good. It hurts me to say this, but it's one of those series that started off so phenomenal and then went into mediocrity.
Mm-hmm.
And it hurts my soul to say that, but that's what I believe. Because it was this super interesting premise of these kids being raised in this, like, it seems like this normal orphanage, but then there's some weird stuff in there. It's cosmic horror stuff. And then
that sounds awesome.
they'll come up to this gate and they'll go, why can't we go past the gate? And then their caretaker says, you just can't do it. The outside's dangerous.
Mm.
And then you realize, or then you start to figure out what's going on with the children who are adopted, and then it's scary.
That sounds really good.
It was so good. And I remember loving it. And then the first season stopped, and I go, okay, how do I continue this? And then I go read the manga. I actually have it down there.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I wanted to read more manga, so I kept reading manga. And I eventually got around to Berserk, which is up there, and I don't think you can see it.
I really want to try Berserk. Everyone tells me I would really like Berserk.
What is your tolerance on super dark graphic?
I had no problem with it.
All right, do it. Read
Yeah,
Berserk.
I mean that's why I read horror for so long.
Because I've tried to get people into Berserk, but something I need to be I should have been more aware of is it's everybody has a different level of tolerance
Oh
for
yeah,
this sort of
sure.
stuff.
Everybody likes different stuff. Yeah, sure.
Berserk is extremely graphic because it's a visual media.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I thought, oh God, I'm so sorry. I got it to some people, and I have a friend who hates it, and then I have a friend who loves her. Yeah, I have a friend who loves it,
Mhm.
and that's just how it's going to be. But I read Berserk, and then I was obsessed. It was one of the most brilliant things to me.
Okay.
It's just this story of struggling and going up against impossible odds. That's why I love Elden Ring, which I know you don't like.
Oh my God, no. Those impossible odds are too impossible.
They are not.
No, that's not fun for me. I'll let you do. You and Jacob could do that. I think Jacob's already finished the game.
Oh, I love those sorts of things because I love a challenge always in life and stuff, and so I just kind of pound up against it until I break the wall and I go, yeah.
See, I'm exactly the opposite. Like for me, I was really um, charged by games because I thought it was like, what an amazing new medium to tell a story with. And I was
Ooh.
really enthused by that. But then when you get to these games that are more about the grind, to get to the story, you have to beat your head against a wall and grind for so long and so hard. It's almost as if they're hiding the story from you. It's like, guys, if you have a story to tell me, I want to hear it. Tell me the story. Don't make me climb Everest to get to your story and then hide it under the snow when I get up there. You know, just tell me the story. I want to hear. And games for me used to be like that. Games used to be like a narrative experience for me, and I would get really excited. And then more and more with like the From Software movement and everyone trying to copy what's popular, it's like now it's just become more about the challenge and the grind, and that's when I kind of started edging away from it.
One of my favorite games, which kind of blends the two, is Hollow Knight.
I've heard of that one. I've heard of that one.
It's a 2D game, and it's about this kingdom of bugs. It's all underground, and as you move through it, it has this very depressing atmosphere. I think it is a master of atmosphere. One of the best. It just nails exactly what it wants.
Yeah.
There is, and as you go through it, it's kind of difficult, but it also tells a story just through the nature and everything around it.
That's
and and as you progress through the game, you can look at these different areas and see how they mesh and if you really start to look closely, it is hiding the story from you. It's honestly, it makes me think of Book of the New Sun, or actually Book of the New Sun made me think of that, where it hides it from you. It's kind of like, come on, chase it, find it.
Yeah. I think Book of the New Sun I've got coming up in April, somewhere around there. We're gonna do I think it's like me and Dr. Chase, and we're gonna get Christopher Rocchio to guide us through.
That's so cool.
Because he loves it.
Exactly. That's actually why that was one of the reasons. It was Chance and Oh my god. Chance and Rockio. Why was I forgetting Rockio?
We were just talking about
Exactly.
him.
Chance and Rockio. Chance was saying, "Oh, it's an amazing series," and then Rockio. I
Yeah.
mean, that series is brilliant.
Yeah.
Stunning.
I mean, are you caught up with that? Because I'm just up
Oh,
to
yeah.
book 4.
Have you read book 4?
I haven't. I mean, I'm up to book 4,
Oh, man.
which is what? What's that one? Ashes of Man?
Kingdoms of Death.
Kingdom of Death. Kingdom of Death. Yeah. And then it's Ashes of Man. So yeah, that's how I'm up to that point.
Man, I cannot wait to hear your thoughts on Kingdoms of Death.
Yeah, me neither. I can't wait to read it. I'm very. I want to get back to it so badly. I mean, book 3 was amazing. That was like 4 books in one book.
I had such a hot take on that. I thought book 3 was pretty good, but to me it was like, okay, book 1, pretty good. Book 2, even better. Book 3, all right, this is going somewhere. And then I took a break until about March. I read the first 3 books in January. And then in March, I picked up Kingdoms of Death. And then kind of slogged through the first bit. And then I got to that second half and I go, oh, there we go.
Yeah.
And it was brilliant.
Yeah.
And then I immediately picked up Ashes of Man. I blazed through that in maybe a day or 2.
Oh my God! Really? Okay.
Because, again, I was on vacation.
Yeah, I guess.
But, and I was like, what else am I going to do? My family went, okay, let's go on a cruise. I'd never been on a cruise. They said, we want to go on a cruise. And I said, okay, we're doing that. And while I was there, I read books. And so I read Ashes of Man.
Mhm.
And then I started Malazan.
Oh yeah, what'd you think of that? So wait, before we go on to Malazan, so
Okay.
have you read Disquiet Gods yet?
Oh, yeah, I read it. So I was kind of pushing it off. Was I pushing it off? When did Disquiet Gods come out?
Like I don't know, 2-3 months ago, 3-4 months ago, something like that. Yeah, I think so.
It was early.
March, I think you're right. March came out March.
Okay. Did I read it immediately? I might have waited a month, but after a certain point, I just went, okay, I'm going to read Disquiet Gods. I read it and went, holy crap, this is my favorite.
So that's your favorite.
Easily.
Book 6. Okay. All right. That's
It
what I was
blew
going to ask.
all the rest out of the water for me. It has,
Really?
Mhm.
All right.
There's one type of character relationship which will probably affect you more than it does me, but I always love it so much.
Okay. Say no more.
I'm not-
Say no more.
I'm,
So yeah,
I'm not saying.
a lot of people are like either their favorite is Demon in White or Book 6. I mean, those are the two that I hear the most of that people have. Sometimes I hear Howling Dark, but mostly it's books 3 and 6.
Originally for me it was book 4, and then I reached book 6 and I went book 6.
That's the one. So now tell me, so how did Malazan hit you?
Oh yeah, is no, screw it. I'm saying Malazan.
That's what I say. I don't know. Malazan, is that the right way? I don't know.
It probably is Malazan, but you know what? I like saying Malazan. It's fun and it's so American, but I don't care. It was honestly brilliant. I loved it
Really?
so
Okay.
much, but I told myself, or I read through it and I listened to it on audiobook, and that's my downfall. I listened to it on audiobook. There was one character who had an amazing voice in audiobook, but I should not have done that because I didn't pay attention. For
Yeah.
example, multiple times when I tried to listen to the audiobook, I ended up falling asleep.
Oh God, I see
And-
that. I think that one especially you would have to read, man. You'd have to really focus. You know, that would be like audiobooks for Wars of Light and Shadow. I think you'd totally have to lock in and focus on that.
Yeah, the one reason I think it didn't work for me was because the biggest reason was because I have a mass market paperback.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can't do it.
Yeah. Is it teeny tiny?
It's too small, yeah.
Yeah, teeny tiny print.
Although it's not like I don't think it's as bad as. Have you seen the Stormlight mass markets?
I read Way of Kings in mass market paperback.
Did you?
Yeah, that's how I started with Way of Kings. Yeah,
Oh man,
I
I
have
can't do that.
I have started. I like Stormlight enough now to where I'm switching over to hardcovers, collectibles.
Yeah, I have hardcover of Rhythm of War. I got end of September. I thought, you know what? I'm getting myself a treat for my birthday, so I got hardcover of Rhythm of War. Way to show off.
So that's the way my Way of Kings that I got.
I got the Words of Radiance. I don't have Way of Kings for Leatherbound. I cannot wait. That's why I'm going to read Words of Radiance in November.
Did you get the leatherbound?
The Leatherbound, yeah.
Yeah, me too. They should be coming soon, right?
Yeah, I think so. The first three Stormlight books. Oh, God. I can't do that.
Oh, it was. I tell you, after I did the first one, it's difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, there they go. Isn't that pretty? Aren't those pretty?
It's gorgeous. I'm so jealous. Like, I love all the artwork. That's probably been my obsession. Artwork in books it just makes me happy.
But so okay, so what was your favorite so far? You're rereading, right, to get ready? You're caught up on this.
I'm reading 2 of the books to get ready. I am caught up. Oh, what's my favorite? Rhythm of War.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I never hear that one.
Yeah. I'm the only one. I will anytime I get the chance, I bring it up. It's my favorite.
Oh, okay. You got to tell me why. Because I
Okay.
never hear that one. I never hear that one.
So, number 1, I am a science dork. I love science. And it starts to get into this kind of science-y feel for the Febriles, and we start to develop Navani more, number 1.
Okay.
We start to develop the Forged more, number 2, and then we get
the
a
Forge.
continuation.
Wait a minute. Now you're talking about Hop.
Oh, wait. What? It's not the Forged. What are they called? I don't want to spoil it.
I can't remember either. But the other side.
Yeah, the other side.
Yeah. Okay.
It develops their hierarchy more. It develops their higher ups more, and it throws it throws Kaladin into this super. Yeah, exactly. You see, Arabella, that's the right way to think about it.
Yeah.
Everybody hates on it, and I don't get it. I loved it. The magic system got better, got more in depth, and
So do they go deeper, like into the whole Shadesmar stuff and all that kind of,
I don't think we get into much more Shadesmar. We get
Okay.
more on the Spren, on the Febriles, on
Okay.
all that stuff, and I thought it was super duper interesting. And the Kaladin specifically, you see that deterioration of his mental health.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. All right.
And I thought that it was so brilliant, and I was enthralled by his story there. I've always been enthralled by Kaladin's story. He's been my favorite, and then there's so many things that it's just like setting up
Mm-hmm.
for Wind and Truth. Just saying, hey, look, Wind and Truth is going to be something crazy.
Yeah. Arabella's completely right. Like this
Exactly.
is completely true. He's got his own physics and metaphysics. The entire thing worked out in his head. Like there's no doubt about it
Right.
that he has the whole thing worked out.
And it's so cool to me. For
Yeah.
example,
See,
I
me
was
too.
reading-
Me too.
Hmm?
I think I might like it, but the things I hear about it is it reads like a textbook. So far, Oathbringer is my favorite. Like, I just love Dalinar. Like, that's my guy. So, of
I
course,
know.
Oathbringer is going to be the book for me.
Yeah, I think that I think Oathbringer will probably stay that in that position for you, especially considering how much you loved Dalinar beforehand. You loved him beforehand, right?
Yeah, but after Oathbringer especially. Like,
Oh, so one of the most interesting things for me was I went into Oathbringer thinking, what Dalinar doesn't have enough stuff. We know he was a warmonger in the past. I don't know how the flashbacks are going to work. And then I read Oathbringer and I go, I was an idiot. First chapter, I go, just shut up. You were dumb. That was
dude,
stupid. This is amazing.
I mean, Oathbringer, like, what a journey that guy. Like,
Oh
wow. Like, that was. I mean, and all of them have had. I mean, Shallan, Kaladin, Dallin. They've all their backstories have been like, wow, that is a harrowing backstory.
oh yeah.
Like, they were truly, truly as broken as the Shattered Plains. They have to fix themselves before they can address what needs to be done in this world, right? Like, it's. But Dalinar is my guy, man. I was emailing. I bet it will, Arabella, no doubt. I was emailing the tattoo artist today about my Bondsmith design. I'm gonna get it. It's going right here.
To me personally, if I got a tattoo, it would probably be um, my mom's probably if she's shitting in the chat, she's probably going no.
You
But
will.
if I got any, it would probably be the Stone Ward. So, well, one
Mm,
of my favorite things leading up to Words of Radiance, or the Words of Radiance Leatherbound thing was, were you watching those weekly videos
yeah.
for each? I love the idea of the Stone Wards,
Yeah.
the Stone Wards, and how they are the people who are always going to be there for their friends.
Right.
And no matter what, I'm going to be this stone for you. I'm going to be
Right.
there for all of you.
Yeah.
And I think that is super admirable. It's one of my just to me that's super important.
I love the way he take each night's radiant, whatever you call it,
Hmm.
divisionary. It's like,
Oh, the orders, yeah,
yeah, each of the orders of the Knights Radiant, like Stone Ward, is kind of like that rock, that touchstone
yeah,
for a relationship, or like a bondsmith is to bring those together. It's kind of the best of us as a species, you know. It's like each one
exactly.
of those. You can break it down and look at each one of those as like the best part of us as people, as humans, as Homo sapiens. Um, and it just I just love it, man. I love the magic system being revolving around what is the best of us, and that's what is
Yeah,
aspired to, and that's what's magical in this world. I just think it's really cool, man. I just really dig it.
this people can change and do
Yes.
better. And Dalinar's
Yeah.
is one of the best representations of that I've ever
Oh
read.
yeah.
I
I
really
mean,
understand why his
he
book is
will
your favorite. I
keep
completely agree.
he will keep getting up. He will keep getting stronger. He will keep owning his mistakes and doing better because of his mistakes. His pain will motivate
Exactly.
him to be a better man. And that's the
I
best. That to me that's the best anyone can ask.
exactly. I think that is just it's brilliant. I love it
Yeah.
so much.
And him being the patriarchal figure, the leader figure,
Mhm.
he leads by he leads by
By
representation. Like
example.
people, by example, people watch him take this journey and continue to stand up and continue to work and continue to, appeal to his better self and do better the next time around and get stronger and let his pain push him. So they follow him and go along with it as well. It's like I tell you, man, he speaks to me. He's my guy.
I completely understand. I ooh, it's oh,
I
you know what?
disagree.
No, I'm taking the cop out answer. My favorite's Hoyd.
Hoyt is great. I do love me some Hoyd. Arabella, you're not talking too much. No one can ever give too many comments. That's not possible.
Exactly.
Hoyd's did you read the Secret Projects?
Oh yeah. So
Yeah,
this is
Hoyd and Tress is great. That's my
Exactly.
favorite. Yes, that's my favorite Hoyd so far.
one of my favorite things. So I loved it, and I knew my mom would love it. She doesn't read that much, and so I'm like, Mom, come on, you gotta read it. You gotta read it.
Yeah, it's
And
such
I
a
got
feel
her to
good
read it,
story.
and she loved it.
Yeah, it's such a feel good story, right? Like it's just
Exactly.
yeah. And it's everything. It's got some humor. It's a feel good story. It's got love. It's got a nice twist at the end that you don't see coming. You know, it's just a great ride. It's everything you want from it. If you don't read a lot, what a great book to pick up and take a journey with, right? Because it just
Exactly.
gives you all the highs that a book could give you, you know? I just think that's a great choice. I'm so glad your mom picked that up. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. I got her to pick up Tress, and I got her to pick up Yumi.
What'd you think of Yumi?
She loved it.
Yeah, I really liked it too. It's working on a lot of different levels there.
Yeah.
I loved how topical it was with AI being a thing now.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you know, how do we put a protective circle around creativity and continue it to be a very important part of us and who we are? How do we protect that as opposed to, you know, letting technology take the lead on creativity? Because creativity, creating something from nothing, is the highest goal of ascension that we can have, right? I mean, that's our best possibility, our best chance to ascend and to create something from nothing in an artistic way, to express ourselves in that way, right? So we have to be very careful. And we have to keep some restraints around that and keep it for us, as opposed to just, even though if technology could do it faster or better or more expedient or make things easier for us, that way lies a slippery slope. And he's so many great Brandon Sanderson themes are in that, the star-crossed love, and yeah, I just thought it was so much fun. I thought he did a great job of making it Asian influenced as well. I thought he did a pretty good job.
Yeah, and personally, I think the art. Did you get the?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought the art in that was the best of all the secret projects.
I agree so far. I haven't picked up Sunlit Man, but the watercolor feel of the art, gorgeous, just gorgeous.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is. I'll be very interested to hear what you think of Sunlit Man.
So you've read Sunlit Man?
I've read Sunlit Man.
Okay, I'm gonna do it after Wind and Truth. I'm probably gonna do Sunlit Man in like January.
Okay. You know what? I understand that. I read it in thought of preparation for Wind and Truth, because I thought, okay, you are going to start seeding some of these things,
Right.
or like teasing at me, and he was teasing, and it drove me insane.
I hear that. I think he even said to read it before. I think he
did
said
he?
like, yeah, I think he did. I think when he put out his list is, oh yeah, Arabella, you're gonna love Yumi. When he put out his list of reading order, he said read it before. But I mean, I'm gonna do it after because I know it takes place chronologically. It takes place after.
Oh yeah.
So to me that's I don't know. I'm a kind of linear story freak. I like I like things to fall in chronological order.
I get it. I typically try to go publication order,
I do too a lot of the times, but I
but
didn't.
every once in a while. has
I
to be
was
thrown in.
supposed to possibly do the big one this month, Rhythm of War.
Ah,
But it's spooky season and I love horror so much. So I wanted to push everything down a little bit. So if Rhythm of War got pushed to November, there's no way I'm not reading Wind and Truth in December, and that means I have to push Sunlit Man after. So it's all because of
Yeah,
my
that's
love of horror.
you just have to.
Oh, I love horror so much. It's my happy place.
My happy place, the place where I'm terrified out of my wits.
It's my happy place, man. It's what I've always. It's like I say, Stephen King is that home base for me. Reading this Stephen King book, it's taken me right back to my junior high desk. I finish my work a little bit early and I can pull out The Shining or Dead Zone and get a couple chapters read while everybody else is finishing. Like it just takes me right back to that place. And those are just the kind of stories that I've been loving and reading since then, like pretty much nonstop if I was reading. So there's just no way spooky season is not going to be some great horror books. There's just no way.
Yeah, I do actually want to do one thing for spooky season. I want to read a Lovecraft short story. Can you give me one?
Oh, The Outsider.
Yeah, that's it. I brought a pen. I'll remember it.
I'll hit you up when I thank you in comments here, which I of course will do for the invite. I will remind you.
All right. Thank you.
I think it's in this book right here. Let me find out. That's one of my favorite Lovecraft stories, and it's not Cthulhu Mythos. It's just a short story, so you're not going to get in the middle of a bunch of stuff. Yep, The Outsider, published in 1921.
Really? I don't
That's
know
the
why.
one.
I thought it was 1800s for him.
No.
I remember I had a friend in middle school, and he was just obsessed with Cthulhu. I'm like, why are you just obsessed with Cthulhu? And it wasn't H.P. Lovecraft. It was Cthulhu specific.
Yeah. I mean,
like,
that's
cool,
a lot of
cool,
people are,
whatever.
right? Yeah. I mean, it's kind of neat. Look, I love cosmic horror. I love
Oh no, I agree. That's my. Ooh, I was just reminded. This is such a tough sell. Made
Sell
in
me.
Abyss. It's this. Ooh, it's such a good series, but it has its faults, and I'll explain those faults in a minute.
Okay, what's the name of the series?
Made in Abyss.
Made in Abyss. Okay.
So it's about these 3 little kids who they live on the outskirts of town, or they live on this town, which is built around a giant gaping abyss into the ground.
Okay. I'm with you.
And
I'm with you.
if you descend, the typical rule is you don't get to come back out, because there's a curse that once you start ascending at any point, you're going to start feeling affected in some weird ways. Like some people will change and morph and become something other than human. Some people will start growing faint, but it's the lower you go, the more dangerous it becomes to ascend. And it's separated into, I think it's 7 layers, maybe more, I don't remember. Or I take that back. Nobody knows how many layers there are. It's an abyss.
Right, yeah.
And as they go down, there's these different features that start to come in. And then there are these people who hold white whistles, is what they're called. That's their kind of hierarchy. And of people who are going down there to try and explore and learn all these things. And then you'll find these weird artifacts. But nobody knows what's going on. It feels like kind of a post-apocalypse, but I don't know, because who knows? This abyss, and it feels alive. It feels like the abyss is trying to kill you. And it brings all these messed up creatures.
Okay.
It's so cool, but I gotta give its flaw, because the kids are a little, what's the word? They're not frustrating. That's not the word I'm trying to look for. I just don't want to. This video could very easily be taken down.
Okay. Well, don't do that.
Sexualized? Yeah, that's the word.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. It sounds like a wild story.
It is.
Yeah.
And I think if it weren't for the way the children are depicted every once in a while, it would be absolutely, utterly brilliant. One of the best things out there.
Who's the writer? Do you remember?
No.
Okay. All right. I'll look it up by title. It sounds
You
interesting.
should. But actually, you know what? This is another thing I wanted to bring up. Berserk has
Yeah,
some of the
Berserk.
best cosmic horror.
Really? Okay, now you're selling me.
So it has this, and this is like first volume spoilers. So has this thing called the Brand of Sacrifice that is placed onto our main character, and it draws in, it summons demons from all over the place, and because sacrifice, and you know that something weird's going on, and eventually, so first 3 volumes, that's the first deluxe volume, you slowly start to unravel something. What happened to this? Was that on your end?
Yeah, it's a train.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just stopped and I was like, what?
Yeah, I live in the country, Alex.
Yeah, where I live, trains don't start going around.
No, I live in the I live in
road.
I live in the 1800s here.
Okay. But where was I? Okay. First 3 volumes.
Mark of Sacrifice. Yeah.
Something weird going on with this guy, the main character, Guts.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't really understand why. And then you meet these 5 creatures. One of them just had this brain shoved out, or like just outright here, and they're all so weird and scary because you know nothing about them. And then you figure out Guts has a relationship with one of them. He knows one of them. And he hates him. And then you realize it sets these things up for the future. And it seeds these things of terror, of what happened in the past, what's going to happen now. Like, for example, there's this one scene, and do you mind if I spoil things in the first volume?
Don't go too far, because I do want to read it.
Okay, then I won't.
Okay.
But there are these scenes that freaky things will happen, if you will. Things will show up, and you'll know Guts has a relationship to this thing, and you'll go, what's going on here? And it just doesn't make sense because they're so weird.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite thing of cosmic horror. It scares the crap out of you because you don't know anything.
Yeah. Well, you can't. It's beyond us to understand. If you like cosmic horror and you want to read more Stephen King, I've got the book for you.
Okay.
Okay. Revival.
You know, I don't actually think I've heard that one.
This is Stephen King doing his love letter. Got my cords tangled up there. This is Stephen King doing his love letter to cosmic horror. And it kind of starts out with a young boy.
Ooh.
And he's out there. Oh, now we got an echo because of my cord. Okay. So he's out there and he's playing with his cars in the mud, making mountains and having a good time. And the new preacher in town walks up and meets him. And they get to have a good relationship with the preacher and the preacher's new wife. And they're in this small town, very young preacher, his first posting. And then tragedy strikes. And it kind of follows both these characters as this young boy grows into manhood and grows up. He keeps kind of running into this preacher he met when he was a very, very young boy. And the journey this preacher is going on about questions of faith after he's lived through this tragedy. How could the cosmos work this way? How could this be stripped away from me? Why are the inner workings of it? It doesn't matter what type of faith you have, you can still be just leveled in this way. So he started to try and find his answers in other ways. And this young boy, as he grows up, bumps into him several times throughout his life. And you kind of have this parallel of the young boy coming to manhood, bumping into this tragic character that's lost his faith because of this tragedy and trying to get answers in other ways. And these parallel stories go all the way to the end. And oh, what a cosmic horror ending. He absolutely nails it. You will live and die by these characters. It's unbelievable. Stephen King does characters like nobody. This is the book for you if you like cosmic horror. Doesn't tie into anything else. It's one and done. You can get in and try it out and see what you think.
No, that sounds right up my alley.
You're going to love it. I really think you're going to love this one.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Yeah. Give it a shot.
right.
You're going to love it.
I definitely will. That is such okay. You've sold me because that's an absolutely amazing.
That's what I do, Alex. That's what I'm here to do.
You couldn't sell me on it. I'm sorry. You have to give up the title.
You've sold me on Berserk. I really want to try that. I tried One Piece. I did like the first 3 volumes.
Yeah.
And I liked it. I'm not saying I didn't like it. It didn't like blow my hair back. It didn't make me like run out and get the next 3 volumes, right? So I'm looking for something to my way into manga anime that will do that. Berserk, the very beginning, is it just going to suck me in like that at the very beginning?
Berserk, I always recommend people read the first 2 deluxe volumes.
And that's what, like 6 volumes or something like that?
Yeah, that's 6 volumes.
Okay.
And the reason I do that is because first section, or the first 3 volumes are one section. It's the very, very first arc.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, that's when I got sucked in.
Okay.
And so I'll always tell people, read the first 3 volumes. I don't care if you think those are irrelevant. They're relevant. They tell you so much about what's going to happen and set the scene. And then read the next 3 volumes. And if you are not hooked by then,
okay,
I'm not sure if it'll be for you. But if you reach, I think it might be volume 14, volume 15, and you just do not like it, hate the series, drop it.
14, 15. See, that's a ways in. Like, that's what I hear so many times with manga and anime. It's like, okay, so by the time you hit 14 or 15, it's like, man, that's a big commitment. That's a long way in.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, what happened?
Book fell.
Oh great. But I get it. I think it's more, for me at least. I think of it as I typically would read chapters online before I pick up physical volumes.
Oh, smart.
Because they just are so easily. You can so easily tap into these things online for manga specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go look and you can test out all these manga and go, okay, I'm going to read until chapter 20. See what it's like. And then if I love it, I'm going to pick up physical volumes.
Right.
Because I don't typically read things online, but because it's more of a visual medium. I don't need that physical feeling quite yet. Berserk,
yeah.
I want.
Yeah, screens are rough on my eyes, but other than that, I don't mind reading on a tablet. It just gets it. I can only do it for so long. I can't get the page count I need read in a day reading on a screen because my eyes will start to go out on me a little bit.
My problem is if I start reading on like a tablet or a phone, I'll wander. I'm gonna go somewhere else. I'm gonna close out the tab and I'm gonna go somewhere. I might go to my email. I might try to talk to somebody. Okay, don't do that.
Yeah,
that's not the goal. I want to read.
Yeah, exactly. There's too many options right there on the device. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I get you.
But actually, one of the very interesting things about Berserk, did you know that it was one of the inspirations for Sun Eater?
No, I didn't know that. Now, I know Book of the New Sun was, and Dune, and the things he's talked about. I didn't know Berserk was.
Yeah, so there are actually a lot of references to Berserk and Sun Eater. Jake and I were talking about this a little bit ago we got off track in our One Piece stream. But we ended up bringing that up, and we were like, oh yeah, there are a ton of references to Berserk and Sun Eater, and it's all over the place.
Okay.
And and it's also very interesting because you can trace Sun Eater's inspirations to Berserk as well. So I think some of the biggest inspirations for Berserk were American novels, or not American, outside of Japan novels.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I know, right? Reading on a screen feels so wrong.
It does. It absolutely does. I love books.
Like,
I love physical books. Yeah.
Exactly. But I know that two of the biggest inspirations for Berserk were Elric of Melniboné.
Melniboné.
Thank you.
Michael Moorcock. Yeah.
Michael Moorcock, and Book of the New Sun. And then, of course, some of these sci-fi classics, like from BKD.
Mm-hmm.
And who else? I feel like...
if it's
Hellraiser.
Okay, yeah. If it's cosmic horror, then I would think H.P. Lovecraft factors in there. See, I wonder because there's... I've already, I'm just up to Demon in White, but there's some definite cosmic horror going on in Demon in White. So, I wonder if he's inspired by channeling like Berserk, or if he's, because he is like a classic student. I wonder if he's going all the way back to the 20s and going to H.P. Lovecraft as opposed to Berserk.
Well, that is a good question. That would be very interesting to know.
Yeah,
but
I think he's a pretty big Lovecraft fan from when I've talked to him in the past.
I think I've heard that at some point too, but I don't remember.
I'll find out. He's going to Dragonsteel, so I'll hit him up with that question and find out.
Everybody's going to Dragonsteel.
You should go, Alex.
I wish I could.
Yeah, I know. Dude, I'm only going because of Jacob, and he sat at the screen and refreshed 1,000,000 times and got us in.
God, that brings back memories. Refreshing the screen. So back in, I think it was 2020, 2021, I had made a deal with my dad. He was like, okay, I want your Xbox.
Your dad wanted your Xbox?
Yeah, he wanted it, and he wanted my siblings to have it. So I said, okay, you can have it, but I want a PlayStation 5.
Oh, that's smart. That's smart.
Exactly. He was like, okay, you know what? Yeah.
That's smart.
And so I remember my entire family, we would refresh the screen again and again and again just to try and get one of those copies.
Yeah. See, I think I'm trying to remember when the PS5 came out, I think I was still working at GameStop.
Oh, really?
Maybe that's the PS4. So I was lucky. I was able to get mine pretty easily.
Huh. I was about to say, that would be very...
No, that was PS4. PS5, I was not working there anymore. That's right.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think or maybe you were by some miracle, because that was COVID time.
No, it was PS4 time. The launch of the PS4, I was working at GameStop.
God. Launch the PS4.
PS4 was a great machine. PS5 is a great machine. Now they're doing the PS5 Pro, I think, right? Isn't that coming up pretty quick?
Oh, it is. But you know what? No digital only for me. I'm not doing that crap.
Oh,
I want my physical media.
Is the PS5 only digital?
PS5 Pro is you have to go out and buy a separate disk drive away from it's dumb, isn't it? It's stupid.
That makes no sense.
And one of the I hate it so much. I hate digital games because you're not buying that. You're licensing it.
Yeah.
One of the very, very interesting things to me is California just passed a law saying you don't get to say people are buying this because that's a lie, and you know it.
Yeah,
you have
licensing.
to say it's licensing.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so interesting. I'm like, yes, thank you. Do that everywhere.
The same thing for Kindle and all, ebooks and everything else. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Nah, I'm not a fan either. I like my stuff.
Exactly. Give me the stuff.
Give me the stuff. Give me the stuff.
I love showing it off too.
Yeah, I love the stuff on the shelves, man. I just love it. But I mean, I get it. Like there have been a couple times in my life that I've been like, why do I need all this stuff? I'm gonna completely just go all ebooks. I'm gonna sell my books and just have all my books right here. I've gone through that several times, and I just look back now, and it's like, oh, I wish I had those books back. There were some books that I got rid of when I'm thinking about I'm gonna lighten my load or not have those things. Now I just wish I had some of those books back.
I only ever get rid of books if I think I'm never ever going to reread it. If I'm not interested in it, I didn't like it all that much,
Yeah.
and if that's the case, then bye bye. More space.
Yeah.
Like for
yeah.
example, oh yeah, I read Sarah J. Maas to impress a girl.
How'd that work? Did you impress her?
No,
Well, then it didn't work.
it didn't work. That was the problem.
And the book probably wasn't that great either.
No, and so I ended up going, oh, that sucks.
Now you gotta sell that book or trade that book in, and you didn't
Oh, I've
impress
already
the
done
girl.
it. I'm one step ahead of you.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
You
just saying.
know what? That's all good. I'm going to use that. I'm going to store that knowledge in the back of my mind, and if I ever need it,
Yeah,
it'll be there.
and you don't have to read it again.
Exactly.
Just store it up. Absolutely.
Yeah. But it was very all right series, if you ask me.
Yeah. I've never read
Right.
her. I don't know. I shouldn't say it's not good. I don't know. I've never read Sarah J. Maas.
Yeah, that's the thing. I refrain personally from saying, "Oh, I don't like this. I think it's bad." I've never played it or I've never tried it, and I think I used to do that for a couple things. Like, I think that's terrible.
Yeah. I
Like
try
I
not
can
to.
say,
Yeah.
sorry, go-
I try not to do that. And you know, some people will love it. Like Sarah J. Maas is, you know, she's a lot of people's favorites. I'm sure.
really big seller. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's got to be a reason. You know, she's got to be entertaining, and I'm sure she, you know, probably great for a lot of people. I'm just so stacked up with things that I, you know, I think I
that
will.
I'm more interested in.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll love those. So it's like I'm not venturing too far out beyond that. But
Exactly.
I mean, you know, who knows? She might be great. I shouldn't. That was probably presumptive of me to say.
Yeah, but I remember I read for a book club, Fourth Wing, and I go, okay,
How was that?
that was. Sorry, say again.
How was that?
It was fun garbage. It's that popcorn thing that you go. It's that movie you go out to
Yeah.
watch because you know it's crap, and you do it to make fun of it, to laugh at it, and just to have a blast.
Yeah, dude. There's nothing wrong with popcorn. I love a popcorn read. You know, like
Exactly.
I think that's great. Sometimes that's exactly what the doctor ordered, especially if like you've been reading Wars of Light and Shadow for too long and you need something, you know, just to cleanse the palate and have fun with. That's great, man. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, but it was a fun read, and so I was like, okay, great. I probably won't read the sequel, but I'm gonna go read things I'm more interested in.
You never know, man. Those sequels are coming out fast.
Yeah. It was so interesting. I went to my local Barnes and Noble, and I go around and I go, what the heck? They have merch for it. They have tote bags. They have
It's
enamel
huge.
pins.
Yeah, it's huge, man.
Oh yeah, and it already
Which
has
is-
a TV show licensed.
Oh, well, that's not surprising. But I mean, you know what? Like, I think that's great. If it's get more people into the bookstore, more people reading, that is freaking awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Get more
I'm
people
all
reading out
for
there.
it. And
Not
then,
my thing. What?
but you never. Then they might come over and try some Robin Hobb. We don't know.
We don't know. But if I can just kind of slowly start pulling these people in, let's
That's
say,
it.
"Hey, you read that book. It's like Robin Hobb sometimes.
You know, I found a Royal Assassin to be pretty romantic. I thought it was a great portrayal of young love. You know, when it hits you so hard and you think nobody's felt like this before. You know, like that that just pure, unadulterated first love blast that goes through you. Like, I thought Royal Assassin did a great job of portraying that. Like, it really took me back to those feelings. When Fitz and Molly were, kind of having their moments there. So I think there's a lot. I think there's some great romantic stuff in that series. That people could maybe be moved over.
Oh yeah, I agree completely. That's the thing I love about Hop. She knows how to say this is life.
Oh yeah, yeah. I really, in the first book, the young man searching for a father figure, several different places. Just so many things took me back to my own life, and then the young love in part 2, and she just nails it. The pace is just perfectly done. I didn't think it was a slow burn at all. For me, it's like to really dwell in those character moments of this young man's life. I just thought it was so well done. It's just been such a special series for me.
Oh yeah. For those first 2 books, I did think they were a bit slow, but I think if I read them now, that's not even a choice.
Yeah,
After the last 100, 200 pages of Royal Assassin, I was like getting up out of my seat, shouting.
Oh, that ending, right?
Oh yeah.
That
That
ending
ending.
was
Oh man.
so good. So good. It's so hard not to
Really?
grab book 3. Like, it really is.
I know. I could not stop myself. So the way I did it was I had Piranesi lined up,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, you know what? It's gonna take 2 days for Assassin's Quest to get here. So time to go read Piranesi, then go read Assassin's Quest.
Yeah, because Piranesi's about a 2-day read. That you can get through that pretty quickly. That's a great read too, though. That's a really great read.
It was a really good read.
So how soon do you think you'll finish up Hob if you've just got a few books left?
If everything goes according to plan, end of November or mid-November, something like that.
Okay, so pretty quickly you'll be done.
Oh yeah, because I'm gonna start Malazan in January. The batches were delayed. I'm in batch 2.
Yeah,
So
me too.
I don't really know when I'm gonna get those copies for Malazan, and that's when I'm
Early
gonna
next
start.
early next year.
Yeah.
That's all we know.
Early
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah. I
I
think
cannot wait for those copies though.
oh, those are going to be pretty. Those are going to
Oh,
be
yeah.
pretty. And I'm fine with getting thicker paper, and if they're not happy
Exactly.
with it, I'm fine with that.
I can be patient.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not like I don't have anything to read.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like another thing I need to read. I'm gonna brag a little bit because I love this.
Go, man.
Or no, I don't love the book. I love I haven't read it. I have not read it yet. You have praised it though.
Oh, is that Perdido Street Station?
Yep.
That's the same kind of thing, man. That prose is not something you can whip through.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That is something you slow down a little bit, take some time with it. But oh, dude, that is such a great. What a great sense of place read. Like, the character of New Corbizon is the city is such a character. Like, the setting is such a character in that book. And it's such an amazing meditation and examination of the outsider. You're going to dig that book, man. You're really going to like it.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I've heard so many good things about it. I'm like, oh, this is a gorgeous cover.
Oh, it's so pretty. Yeah.
Just beautiful. And I'm like, okay, I gotta get it because it's that sunset. It hits that. That's my favorite thing, sunset.
Yeah, I had to order in the from Broken Binding. I had to order in Station 11 because they're doing a version of that, so I had to get that one.
I kind of wanted to get it, but then I saw that the Station 11. I don't know why that super hot pink does not gel with me.
The book is so special to me. It's so good to me,
So that's fair.
I'm just such a Shakespeare nerd, so
Got it.
a lot of it is about it. So I just love it so much.
I have gotten into so many arguments saying I think Shakespeare is overrated.
Oh, you just don't know yet, Alex. You just got to give yourself some time.
I have read Twelfth Night. I've read Romeo and Juliet. I don't. No. And have I? Oh, I also read Othello.
Othello's good.
Yeah. I thought Iago was a little bit. It's boring to me.
Oh, Iago's one of the greatest villains ever to grace the stage, my friend. Give
Okay,
yourself
I'll
some
take
time.
your word on it.
Give yourself some time. Give yourself some time. And that's something. I mean, it's tough to read Shakespeare and really get it all. You know, it's really it's be like if you think of your favorite movie, whatever it may be, and you read the script. You know,
Yeah.
as opposed to watch it. It's
You know what? That's
it's
fair.
that kind of thing.
That is very fair. For classes, I've read some of the Shakespeare books, and I everybody will all say, "What? Why are we reading it? I don't want to read it. Let's watch the play if we're going to do anything with it."
And they should. The class should include watching because you can find versions of every play in the canon that you could bring into class and show, and it would be a better introduction to that piece than reading the script.
Yeah, because I remember for Twelfth Night, that was the first thing I read. We read it and then we watched a play for it. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But then I'll also say I've never really been the biggest theater lover. I mean, I
Yeah.
love the movies. I love that stuff, but I don't like being able to see right through the facade.
You know, the thing is that you probably just haven't seen the right stuff.
Maybe.
There's a true magic to it. Like if I could take you into some theaters that, first of all, you're not going to see the facade because it's a black box theater and they don't even make a facade. There's just going to be a few set pieces and the front row is going to be here and the stage is going to end here. And the actor is going to be like literally right there. And it's a
Okay.
black box theater in the front row. The actor is that. I could grab his lapel if I wanted to if I'm sitting in the front row. And the next row rakes back. The chairs rake back. The stage is on the floor. And you're that close to the action. And if you have somebody that really knows what they're doing, and you can be that close to the actors and watch them live life at a heightened sense of reality and a compressed amount of time, and you're that close to it and you watch them work and the facade drops away because you're really just watching the actors live, it can be truly magical. But you really have to get the first experience has to be really curated for you, and you have to do the right thing first. If you're taken into classic theater with a proscenium arch and you're probably sitting way at the back and it's probably a stylized performance because they're trying to hit the back row with what they're saying and things like that, and they're relying on techniques that go all the way back to the Greeks. It's not going to be as tangible and present and meaningful as if you went to the right type of theater experience for your first time. So I would just say, if I could curate a theater experience for you, you would come out of it and go, I get. I understand.
Okay. I'll take your word for it because you're the guy who's the actor.
So these people that are teaching you Shakespeare and showing you these things, they're not showing you the right things. I'm just gonna say that when people say, why do we have to read this? They're absolutely right. The students are absolutely right. When they're saying, why do we have to read this and why are we spending time on this and that kind of, they're absolutely right. You should be spending time on something else. And they would walk away with a love of words and a love of theater and a love of expression that they're not going to get by the experiences that are being curated for them by that teacher.
All right.
And that's just me.
No, I believe it though.
Yeah. Because, I mean, it's oh my God, I've seen some, I wish I could show you some of the performances I've seen. You would be you would be changed. Like you'll walk out of that theater changed.
Well, who knows? Maybe one day I'll find one of those theaters and go, oh, you know what? Holy crap!
You're
John's
gonna
right.
like one day you're gonna find it. Like you're gonna go into a studio theater, a black box theater, and you're gonna get something very close to the stage, and you're gonna see something, and you're gonna go, oh my God, this is what they were talking about. Like I'm convinced it'll happen someday because you love story. Like you started the channel to talk about books and story. You love stories so much. Like you've got to eventually, sometime in your life, seek out. I've got to find out the roots of drama, and I want to see this done at this level and see what they're talking about. It'll happen.
I'm trying to catch up to what's out now.
Oh man, me too. I'm the same.
Oh God. You know what? I've probably kept you here for too long.
Oh no, this has been a blast. I should probably go out and get my dogs outside. But no, this has been absolutely wonderful, man. Anytime. I'm telling you, man, I did this to hang out and talk. So you hit me up anytime and I'll be there.
Man, this was absolutely amazing because, as I said earlier, you are one of the biggest reasons why I chose to start this, why I chose to start doing this. And
I can't tell you what that means to me, man. Like that makes my week, that makes my month to hear that, because I watch your stuff. I see you experiencing story. I get to experience story through you. I get to have not only that story relate to me through you, but I get to see the human experience and how it hit you. You know, and I would never have been able to do that without you coming out and doing this, and you and Jake and Chance, and it's like Bearded Book Piece. You know, all you guys like doing this. It's like I just love it so much. I just absolutely love watching you guys. Love watching you build your channels. And I'm telling you, isn't it the best? Like it's just so much fun.
It's so much fun, and I actually reached out to Chris, and we were gonna do something. We might do something next week. I had a live stream planned, and then stuff's gotten in the way for him, so it's gonna change. It's all good.
Oh yeah.
But just he's just such a nice guy.
Oh, Chris is the best, man. Yeah. And so is Jake and Chance and everybody. Everyone you meet.
Everybody's so nice.
Yeah. Every time I remember when I first started doing live streams, and it's like I would shut everything down, and it's like, well, they're just the coolest people in the world. Like it would happen every time, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's hard to explain, but you just start to accept it. Like, wow, this little corner of BookTube of the internet, it's exactly as everyone advertised. Everybody is just really just an amazing person.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And just seeing that, I had to say, I remember seeing just how blatantly nice some of these people are. And I remember seeing Chris's email at some point, and I kind of just sat back and went, God.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It takes a little bit of getting used to. I remember in the beginning, for sure, it takes a little bit of getting used to. But look, man, from the bottom, that means so much to me, Alex. And I'm telling you, man, anytime you want to chat, anytime you want to hang out, you reach out. And the next time I'm available or whatever, we'll hang out. No problem, man. I love talking books. I could talk books all night long.
Exactly. I completely agree. But man, it's been an absolute blast talking to you. I've been looking forward to this for so long.
Heck
You've
yeah.
been great. And hold on, we gotta read that.
Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you so much. I got a little choked up.
What did you release yesterday? I've been completely blind. I've blinded myself to your content for the past 2 weeks.
I released, I think the wrap up. When did I release the wrap up of everything I read? And no, it was the book haul. It was a book haul. I released a book haul, and oh my God, people were so amazing. I was just so touched. People were so generous. I mean, really, it was unbelievable. And then here's where I made the mistake. I made it through. I was good. I made it through that, right? And I was gonna thank Jacob for helping me build this channel because I would never have experienced this without Jacob. Like, I'm not great with tech stuff. Like, there's just no way I could have ever done this without my son, right? And just the sheer fact that he wants to do it with me and hang out with me is like, special to me. So I just thought, hey, I could just look at him and thank him for what he's done and that kind of thing. And I had a little bit of allergies. I got a little something in my eye. I got a little misty. I should have just told him off camera. I thought I didn't think that through. So I tried to tell something. I tried to be a little nice to my son on camera, and I kind of lost it a little bit.
That's amazing, though.
Yeah. But it seemed to go off okay. I was like, oh man, I can't believe. But everyone was very nice about it.
But that's awesome. I think it's awesome that you have that connection.
Oh, it's like I say, man. I'm knocked out every day. That he wants to do. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the luckiest person alive. Every day I try to stay grateful and gracious every day because I'm the luckiest man alive. I feel like I've won the lottery every day. I wake up, I get to kiss this beautiful wife. My kid wants to hang out with me and do stuff with me. I get to talk to people like you online a couple times a week, and I'm reading amazing books that this amazing community is picking out for me. It's like I don't know what I did to deserve to be here, but it's like I'm gonna enjoy this ride as long as it'll absolutely last. It's just it's been unbelievable, man, and that's why I love to watch you guys just starting out because it's like, oh, it's so awesome. It's so awesome.
It really is. I'm happy I started it.
Yeah.
Truly, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So cool. It's just great.
Yeah. Well, you call whenever you need me, Alex. You call me. I'll be there for you, brother.
Absolutely. Oh, all right then. Calling it a day.
All right,
Thanks
man.
So much.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks for everybody in the chat.
Thank you.